Usually, when bond is set at an amount that's $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, and so on, you can post what is called a bail bond. What a bail bond is when a company, a third-party entity, will make a decision as to whether or not they feel comfortable posting a bond for you, meaning the entire amount, so long as you pay a portion of that bond, which is commonly referred to as the premium. So here are 5 things that you need to be concerned about with regard to a bail bond. First and foremost, you have to understand the conditions of bail. Now, usually those conditions of bail can be imposed by the court, or they can even be imposed by your bail bond company. What that means is that usually bail bond companies will usually require you to report to them after every single court date. And if they can't get a hold of you, they could decide to pull your bail bond back and ask the courts to put you back into custody. And in some situations, if you run from the bail company, they will send a bounty hunter after you. The second thing you must be concerned about is that generally a bond can be posted in numerous ways. When I say that, I mean a bond is one way. The second way is through paying cash for the entire amount. Usually, if you pay cash for the entire amount, that money will be released to you at the end of the case when the bond has been exonerated. If you want to pay a cash bond, often you must let the court know at your court date when bond has been assigned that you want to post a cash bond. The reason why is that generally a cash bond is posted at the clerk's office within that county specifically, and that money is then returned to you after the case is done and the bail has been exonerated. The third way, and somewhat of a common occurrence, is people post property bonds. What a property bond is that if you have adequate equity in a piece of real estate, what will happen is the court will take that equity in that house and put a deed of trust, or basically a lien, on your property, which makes it so that if you run, they then foreclose upon that property and take that property. Now, if you want to post a property bond, you often need a qualified bail bondsman to assist you with that process as well, because they're going to help you understand what proportion of that equity actually qualifies as enough equity towards a bail bond. Sometimes posting the premium is not allowed, and that occurs when the court believes the proceeds of illegal activity were used, that effectively that asset cannot be posted for purposes of collateral as it relates to the bond. What I mean is that if you used money from illegal activity, bought a home with that money, and then subsequently posted that home as a property bond, you will not be allowed to do that. Generally, the code section is California Penal Code section 1275.1, which governs this specific instance. Often the courts will hold a hearing, and what will happen at that hearing is that the court will make a determination as to whether or not the person who is posting either the cash bond, the bail bond, or the property bond actually has money that is tainted by illegal activity or not. This is an important hearing, and it's important to have qualified counsel in this process, because generally the burden is upon the defense at that point to show that the specific collateral being posted is not proceeds of illegal activity. Also, usually the court will issue a series of orders when you're released. Those orders can sometimes be protective orders, and what that means is that you may not be able to go near a person or a place while you're out of custody while the case is pending. Keep in mind, you must be acutely aware of what those terms and conditions are, because if you violate them, you will be likely remanded, put back into custody, and also it's likely you'd face new charges for violating a court order or violating a restraining order. Finally, the fifth thing you must always be aware of is that you must attend all of your court appearances. And as a part of that, you cannot lose touch with your attorney. If you have questions about these complicated issues, we're the best resource. Give us a call at 833-6-NO-JAIL.